If you're looking for a free alternative to Adobe Lightroom that doesn't require a subscription, this video is for you. Today, I'm testing RapidRAW, a brand new open source RAW editor that's designed to be fast, simple, and easy to use. This isn't a feature tour or a hot take. It's a real-world professional workflow test. Import, cull, edit, sync, and export. This is the exact same workflow I use, including on images that end up on the cover of magazines. If RapidRAW can handle this cleanly, we'll know it's a serious option. To test it properly, I'm using a new set of images from a recent air-to-air photo shoot of a fully restored, bright yellow 1941 Piper Cub. Mike was flying the Cub, and Brendan and I were in the Cessna photo ship trying to hold formation while I captured the shots. I previously edited this shoot in Lightroom, so I know what good results look like. If RapidRAW can take these same RAW files and produce clean, publication-ready JPEGs without being a pain to use, I'll consider that a win. By the way, I've created a free 10-step workflow guide that covers all my editing steps, as well as the installation and initial setup of RapidRAW. You'll find a link to it in the video description below. Downloading the installer is remarkably simple. No need to sign up for an account or even enter your email address. Just click the Download Latest Version button. It's available for Windows, Mac OS, or Linux. On a Mac, Gatekeeper may say the app is damaged. It isn't. One terminal command clears the quarantine flag, and after that, it opens normally every time. Check out my workflow guide for full instructions. Once it's open, you'll be presented with the home screen. There's a little gear icon that allows you to adjust the theme and processing settings. The last tab displays a handy list of keyboard shortcuts. Let's return to the home screen and import our shoot. Here's the first real difference from Lightroom. There's no catalog. Just click Open Folder and navigate to the folder with your RAW images, and RapidRAW reads the photos right where they live. The splash screen is replaced by the library view. For a folder with a few dozen photos, the thumbnail generation is quick. For a shoot like this, with over 1,000 32-megapixel RAW images, it can take a few minutes. If you're worried about walking away from years of Lightroom ratings and labels, you don't have to. RapidRAW reads and writes standard XMP metadata, so star ratings, color labels, and tags carry over in both directions. You can open the View options at the top of the screen to change the thumbnail size, and after you've rated the images, you can use this same control to display only your keeper images. Use the culling view at the top of the library screen to zoom in on individual images to check focus. Star ratings work exactly like you'd expect. Use the number keys 0 through 5 to rate each photo. Color labels are assigned with a shift plus a number key. Our formation flight produced lots of nearly identical burst images. The culling view allows you to select up to 6 similar shots and view them side by side. Clicking the image toggles between fit and 100% zoom. Clicking the little link icon allows you to synchronize zooming and panning. I'll go through and cull the images and get back to you when I'm done.
A few moments later.
Import and cull combined took just a few minutes for this shoot. I'll use the View Options control to filter my selects and change the thumbnail view to fit. A quick note on the user interface. Just after I recorded this video, a new version of RapidRAW was released. It allows you to move panels around. If you drag the Info panel to the top right and the Export to the bottom right, it will look like my version. To edit an image, double-click on a thumbnail or press the Enter key. The Escape key returns to the library. Back in the editor, a film strip sits at the bottom to move between photos. The right-hand panel contains the following tabs: metadata information, adjustments, crop, masks, inpainting, presets, and export. You can either click on the tab icons or use the keyboard shortcuts I, D, R, M, K, P, and E. I'll press the D key to open adjustments. This is where most of the global editing happens. The A key toggles the analytics display. I'll set it to a classic histogram. I'll also click to turn on the clipping warning. RapidRAW has an AGX tone mapper, which should ring a bell if you've watched my previous Darktable videos. At the top of the panel, I can select Basic for a standard punchy tone curve, or AGX for a more film-like highlight roll-off. EV Shift works in stops exactly like the exposure value control on your camera. It essentially slides the entire histogram data left or right. Use this if you under or overexposed your original image. You can double-click any slider to reset it, or hover over the slider's name and click Reset. The traditional exposure slider provides a gentler, more mid-tone weighted adjustment. Contrast I'll leave until after I finish adjusting the other sliders. Highlights can be pulled down to recover a blown-out sky. Shadows can be pushed up to open the shaded area under the wing. Whites and blacks adjust the extreme brights and darks. Watch the histogram display to avoid clipping any data. And now, back to contrast, added last for punch. Press B or click the eye at the top to toggle before and after. Press F at any point to toggle full screen mode. RapidRAW also has a full curves panel with point and parametric curves, plus per channel red, green, and blue controls. I won't use it on this edit, but it's there when you need finer control. Close the Curves panel and open Color. There's a white balance eyedropper, but these images lack any obvious neutral areas, nothing like a gray card to click on. So here's an old trick from years of Lightroom editing, and it works exactly the same way here. Temporarily push saturation all the way up, so every color cast gets exaggerated. Then adjust temperature and tint by hand until those exaggerated colors look natural again. Reset the saturation slider. Now let's shape the overall color palette. Reach for vibrance first. It boosts the less saturated colors more, which will protect the Cub's yellow paint from clipping out. Saturation only if it still feels flat, since that shifts every color equally, even the already saturated ones. The color grading section allows you to adjust the color, either globally or in the midtones, shadows, and highlights. You can even toggle on and off the sliders for hue, saturation, and luminance. Further down, the color mixer controls let you nudge individual colors independently. The Cub's paint responds well to the orange slider, allowing me to make targeted hue, saturation, and luminance adjustments. The blue luminance slider works well to bring down skies and other backgrounds. One more group before we move on. Scroll down and open the Details tab. A touch of clarity brings out the texture in the aircraft, and a little dehaze cuts through some of the haze in the background. Toggling the B key allows you to see how the overall edit is progressing. With those adjustments in place, let's clean up any optical defects. Press R to open the Crop tab and click Lens at the bottom. Click Auto and RapidRAW will auto-detect the lens and pull the matching profile from the bundled Lens Fun database. Toggle on Distortion, Chromatic Aberration, and Vignetting. Click Apply. Everything we've done so far is global. Nothing is specific to this one photo yet. So we can capture these basic edits as a reusable preset. Press P to open presets. There's a Community tab, a library of looks other users have published. I tend to build my own rather than borrow someone else's, but they're a neat feature. Click the plus button to save as new preset. Name it something like Daylight Basic and choose Style. Don't include masks, crops, or transforms. Click Save and the new preset will be added, along with a live thumbnail preview so you can see the look later at a glance. Down at the bottom of the screen, in the thumbnail view, select a different image. Now, click on the Daylight Basic preset we just created, and this new image will pick up all our starting point adjustments in just a single click. You can dial the overall look up or down with the Amount slider. You can also copy and paste image edits. Hit the back arrow icon or the Escape key to return to the library. Select the image we just edited and press Command-C to copy the adjustments. Select one or more images and press Command-V to paste the adjustments to the selected images. This is a real time saver. Do the edits once and apply them everywhere. There are several hidden features available in the Library module. For example, you can create virtual copies of an image. Simply right-click on an image and select Duplicate Image, then Virtual Copy. This is a great way to try out multiple edits on a single image without wasting disk space. There are many other productivity features available by simply right-clicking, including denoise, HDR, panoramas, negative conversion, a collage maker, and more. If this workflow is already making RapidRAW feel more familiar, that's a good sign. If you're finding this helpful, hit like. It will help more photographers find this structured workflow and avoid getting lost. Let's double-click our virtual copy to open the editor and apply some finishing touches. Press R to open Crop and pick an aspect ratio preset. There's also a Straighten tool for leveling a horizon and composition overlays. Rule of thirds, golden spiral, that kind of thing, if you want guides while you crop. Not much use on this tight a shot, but good to know they exist. I'll select 16:9 since this is a YouTube video. Now, let's brighten our subject. Press M for masks. Under Create New Mask, select the AI Subject Mask. Drag a box around the subject, the Piper Cub in this case. RapidRAW's AI will find the subject automatically. Give it a couple of seconds to complete. With that mask active, let's lift the shadows slightly and drop the highlights. I'll also up the vibrance so the cub pops a bit without blowing out the yellow. If the AI catches a bit too much or too little, click Add a new component and use a brush to modify the mask. You can add any number of masks to an image, including traditional, linear, and radial gradients. a pressure-sensitive flow brush for organic painting, as well as AI subject, sky, foreground, and depth masks. Click M again to exit the Mask tab. If there's stray sensor dust or some other distracting object you want to remove, hit K to open the Inpainting panel. Traditional clone and heal brushes are available, but there are also a number of generative editing tools. The Quick Eraser allows you to draw a box around objects you want to remove. RapidRAW generates pixel-perfect detail over the selected area at full resolution, or you can use a brush to make freeform selections. Note that my Mac is using the CPU for all these operations, so they take several seconds to complete. Press the K key again to close the Inpainting panel. This is a good point to toggle the B key to review the before and after. Once you're finished all your edits, it's time to export the images. In the editor, press E to open the Export panel. Select one or more photos in the bottom film strip. Let's select the Fast Web preset. This sets JPEG with a quality of 80 and a width of 2048 pixels. You can also save your own presets by clicking the plus button. Let's change the file name to Piper Cub, followed by a sequence number. Click the white Export button and select the destination folder. It runs in the background so you can keep editing while it works. So that's the whole workflow: import, cull, edit, sync, and export. Look, I've been using Lightroom since it was first released in beta over 20 years ago. I genuinely love the software, and I was more than happy to pay the original monthly fee when the Creative Cloud version first launched. But over the last few years, Adobe has raised prices, and importantly, the competitive landscape has changed. Replacing Adobe products can easily save you hundreds of dollars a year. If this video helped you do that, hit like and subscribe so more photographers can find this workflow. And if you want the full written version of everything I just covered, installation, setup, and all 10 editing steps, grab my free workflow guide. It's linked in the video description below. Oh, and if you have thoughts on RapidRAW, positive or negative, I genuinely love to hear them in the comments, especially from people who've been using it for a while. Tell me what I'm missing. Before we wrap up, I want to say something about who built this. RapidRAW isn't a corporate product. It's one person, Timon Koch, a Swiss developer who started this as a personal challenge at 18 years old, with no formal background in image science. He had a working editor in about 2 weeks. Within days of posting it, it hit #1 on Hacker News, and he hasn't slowed down since. New features ship every couple of weeks: AI denoising, depth-based masking, a custom GPU renderer, more languages, and faster libraries. One solo developer shipping like a small team. It's now been downloaded over 500,000 times. That's genuinely impressive to me. If you find RapidRAW useful, or you just admire what he's built, consider supporting him directly on GitHub or Ko-fi. Thanks for watching.